This is Will Montgomery, former Washington Redskins center.
Yo, what's good, folks? This is Trey Johnson, the headbanger, yo, and you're listening to Mess Hall with Rally Captain and Tailgate Ted. Word.
What's going on, Rally? You ready for Dallas week, man?
Hey, you see I'm rocking this Rally Captain hat, and it's not game day. So what does that tell you? I'm always ready. And I got to tell you, Ted, you know, being a captain is a rough ship sometimes. But as a captain, you have a good time when the ship sails right, and you go down with the ship when it sails left. Let's get it.
Yeah, it's definitely been rough, man. It's I can't remember who it was. I think it was on the postgame show. Scott Jackson was talking to Smoot, and we got stuck in the parking lot, me and Mrs. T, for a while. Didn't get home till 1 o'clock in the morning. And I know some people didn't get home until way past that. Actually, a buddy of mine, Frank, he got home around 1, and he lives in Delaware. So I don't understand that logic. My guess is he left before the game was over. We obviously stayed till the clock struck 0. But it hasn't felt like Dallas week to me until today. I was getting some groceries, and I did a pickup order from a grocery chain. I'm not going to say their name in case they want to sponsor the show. And grabbing the order, and all of a sudden, the person dropping the groceries was talking just mad trash. Thinking, okay, they're a Bears fan. What's going on here? Like, nope. They're a Cowboys fan. Shocker. They've never been to Dallas. And I didn't pull it up on a phone or a map, but I'm willing to bet they have no idea where it was on the map. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to do you a good favor. It's like they said they were thirsty. I asked them how their day was going. I was like, I'm going to buy you a soda as a thank you for trading Micah Parsons, so we don't got to deal with his butt this week. So now it actually feels like Dallas week to me.
I'm sure they probably have been to Texas Avenue. I mean, I'm sure they have been.
Is there a Texas Avenue in D.C.?
Yes, there is a Texas Avenue in D.C.
Where in D.C.? I have never seen. Maybe I avoid it like the plague. It's in Southeast. Okay. There you go. I had no idea there was a Texas Avenue in D.C.
Okay, now with you being, so are you a true Washingtonian, Ted?
I mean, I grew up in Northern Virginia.
Okay, but you live in Washington now. So everyone should know that DC has all 50 states street names.
Yeah, I would think so. I have just never seen Texas.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
It's just like, there's not a, is there, like, if you go to an elevator, there's no 13th floor.
Correct.
Right. So I'm thinking maybe just out of bad luck, they don't want to put Texas anywhere in DC on the map.
For the people, by the people, brother. So everybody's got to be represented. Now, I don't think there's a Puerto Rican Avenue or Puerto Rico Avenue. I don't think so. Well,
according to a lot of people that don't want Bad Bunny to perform this year, Puerto Rico has nothing to do with the states. So,
all right, that's a little higher than what I wanted to go today, but all right.
Oh, I hear you, man. Let's backtrack a little bit. Let's start off with some good stuff, man.
Yeah.
So I missed the home rally turnout at Hyde Park, but I saw the interview with Chad Ricardo. I saw a bunch of people's videos. I saw just all the social media reaction. Rob, make me feel like I was there. Make our listeners feel like they were there. Tell us how it went down.
So I got to say this first and foremost. Technically, that wasn't my rally. Yes, I know that my name was on the flyer, but technically that wasn't my rally. That was Santana Moss's people's rally. And I forget the name of the company that sponsored it, but it was their rally, and it was a great rally. It was a phenomenal rally or fan get together, however you want to look at it. So big shout out goes to them first and foremost, because they did put the blood, sweat, and tears, if you will, into the rally, the fan meetup. I don't want to say necessarily it was a rally, but I'm going to say the fan meetup. So a big shout out to them, and I see you have it up. So if you have it up, give everybody the name of the company that sponsored it.
Yeah, so it was presented by D'Angelo Entertainment.
D'Angelo Entertainment.
Dive. Yeah,
Trapper Dive. That's what it is. There it is. So big shout out to you guys for doing a phenomenal job. people had a great time. Alexis Rainwhite showed up. Chad Ricardo, he came out, did his spot. Everyone just had a great time. And I'm hoping that something can be done in the future because everyone had a great time.
So how many people were there? Can you estimate?
I'd estimate probably 400 people.
It's not bad, man. Definitely not
Yeah.
bad for a Sunday.
A home crowd.
Yeah.
Because it's
I mean,
hard to get people in the DMV to come out sometimes. So, yeah.
Oh, definitely is. I mean, it's people that aren't from here, that don't live around here. The DMV is massive, right? We've got people just all over. They don't know DMV stands for DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Right.
It's hard to get someone from Maryland to come in to DC, let alone Virginia, right? And vice versa. I don't know how many times I've gotten into debates with people, well, I drive to Maryland to go to the game. Like, yeah, but you're not coming downtown. That's why I wanted to make sure that people knew that there was metro access, right? Easier ways for people to get to it. So it looked like a blast, man. Saw Tanner was there. You guys raffled
B.
off some
Mitch.
stuff. Oh, B. Mitch
Yeah.
showed up. Nice.
Yeah, he sure did. He had to show up for his boy. They raffled off I want to say a Santana Moss jersey. So once again, all the proceeds went to Santana Moss's foundation. And hey, man, it was a good time.
No, it's great to hear, man. It's great to hear. I was bummed because my Sunday was just getting up and getting stuff ready for the tailgate and having to just repack. This was actually our most expensive tailgate this year to date, which I was kind of shocked until I ran the numbers. Like, what? We spent how much? It was over $2,000 we spent this past week on food and just everything else. But it was a good time, man. And I was a little bummed that Mother Nature decided to rain on our parade. Right, that was frustrating. I got out to the lot at 1:00. Right, got out to the stadium at 1:00, and I was packing the car up maybe around 11 that morning, and it was already starting to rain. I'm like, damn, you gotta be kidding me! This is just gonna be such a long day. Luckily, it was kind of a slow drizzle, wasn't too bad. But what time did you actually get up there?
Oh, brother. So the short story of it, but I'm going to give the long version in a minute. I got up there. Kickoff is what, 8:20?
8:20. Yeah, right around there.
8:20. Let's say I got there at on the Northwest grounds probably at 8:05.
What? 8:05? You just get stuck in traffic?
No. So, as everyone knows who listens, that I'm taking over 200 people to Spain, and so trying to get 200 itineraries done caused me to be delayed, and I still had to do some after I got home from the game because I told everyone that I would have the itineraries out on the 12th, and so I get all the itineraries done, or I'd say 99.9 done. I think I had 3 left to do beforehand. And brother, traffic wasn't bad at all. It was just the fact that it was either going to be tailgate and let everyone down who I said that I was going to give them their itineraries on the 12th, or not be a man of my word and just forsake for fun. And so I know this is kind of dry subject, but this is a part of being a business owner and a business person. You have to keep your word. So I get all the itineraries done, Ted, except for I think, like I said, 3. And now it's Tuesday, and people say, "Hey, I received my itinerary. We're greatly appreciative of it, but we can't find our name when you go to log on to the airline's website." And I'm saying, well, what do you mean you can't find your name? I mean, so long story short, after busting my butt getting all these itineraries done, I called the airline and I said, "Hey, I'm having customers tell me that they can't find their name under their itinerary number, their booking code, whatever you want to call it." "Oh, we changed those codes."
Oh, hell no.
I said, "What?" Now, if it's your first time, imagine you spent over $4,000 on a company that you know about, but you really don't know about it, if you know what I mean. And
Yeah.
so now all of a sudden you go to log in and you get no response or your name's not found. Can you imagine how you would feel? So naturally, you're gonna call. And
Yeah.
so I fielded
Phone
plenty
blowing
of
up.
phone calls.
Damn.
My phone's blowing up. And so what I've said is when I get back from Dallas, the airline has sent me the new booking codes, which for the life of me, I don't understand it. I will never understand it. And they don't even have a great explanation for it. But on Monday, when I get back from Dallas, you will be receiving your new itinerary with the new booking code, confirmation number, or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to call it confirmation number so that you'll be able to find your name and your seat and everything like that.
I mean, you've been doing trips for how many years now, right? I mean, this ain't
A
new
lot of
business.
years, Ted, but this is the first time that this has ever happened, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, I understand, okay, this is the first time someone's doing a trip through you. Like, it's the first time I'm doing a trip through you for Kansas City. And you kept emailing me and telling me, I'm going to get you the itinerary. It's like, bro, your family, I know you're going to get it to me, right? Even if you and I weren't doing this podcast, I just know that you're rally captain and that this is your business. This is your livelihood, right? It's not like I'm booking something with Joe Schmo who, hey, you're a public figure. I hate it when people say that about me, but let's just be realistic. Everyone knows you are a public figure. You're on freaking Fox News and all this other stuff, talking about the team and everything else. So it's not like you're going to take the money and run. It's not like you're that Kansas City Chief fan that was robbing banks to go to games and stuff, right? So those people wondering, I get the curiosity, like, hey, how come I can't find it? But let people understand. I'm telling you guys, this isn't Rally. I'm telling you guys, Rally's gonna take care of it. Whatever needs to be done, he'll take care of and do. But so damn, man, at least you got there by kickoff, because I'm actually hanging out at the tailgate, and for me, Monday was a mess, right? DJ Chris Styles shows up, who was our DJ for the game that week. He does stuff for the Caps. He does stuff for different, things around town, University of Maryland game. So I really appreciate him coming out. He didn't have proper weights for his tent, right? The parking lot's open an extra hour early. So the Hale Barbecue crew did not show up that extra hour early. So I am in there cooking. The lots have opened, but my crew isn't there. Right? I can't put tents up on my own. We got 30-mile-an-hour winds. Those that have not been to FedEx or Northwest, it is on a hill. So it gets wind gusts even worse than you would expect anywhere else around town. So we're getting 30-mile-an-hour winds. So finally, all of my crew shows up. They secure it. We put up 6 tents so people can stay dry. Right? The DJ had 1, and he had his equipment. So we got him some sides for the tent. He actually bungeed the tent down to his speakers and some other weights.
Okay.
We're having the tailgate, having a good time, and I'm just swamped, just knocking all the food out. His tent catches air.
Oh.
His speakers tumble over, like everything smashes. The tent frame snapped in half. I'm like,
oh my gosh.
To be kidding me. Right? I'm just wondering why the music stopped, right? What's going on? And then I look over, and damn, the entire thing is just flowing away. It was just,
balloon boy, huh?
Oh yeah, man. It kind of should have given me a precursor for how the night was going to go.
Exactly.
And I didn't know what time it was. All I know is the sun was down, and the wife is asking, "Where's Rally?" I'm like, he probably got stuck at another tailgate. I don't know where he is. I'm not too sure. So I make it inside the stadium. We finally packed the van up. I wanted to pack up early because we had the extra hour anyway. So make it inside the stadium. Believe it or not, I rocked a black jersey.
Oh,
so I ended up rocking. It's my. It was a special Sean Taylor one that they made. I want to say 2 years ago. I don't know if you remember that one that came out, the Sean Taylor Memorial Project that they did. So I rocked a Sean black because the only other one I got is a Chase Young, and I was going to get some duct tape and put Kinlaw on the back because they wear the same number, but I don't want to be that guy. I saw some people that had it was a Brian Robinson Jr. Commander's black jersey, and multiple people actually duct tape over it and put Mariota because Mariota wears 8 now instead.
Gotcha.
Thought that was kind of funny, but I also didn't want to get clowned. The tailgate Ted can't afford a jersey, so he's duct taping his old one. but
Mm,
rocked a black jersey, made it in the stadium, ran out of wristbands, the little light up wristbands.
yeah.
So I'm walking to
I
my
didn't get
gate.
one either.
I found a guy that had some. So I got a wristband for me and Mrs. T. We get to our seats, and first thing I do is I look over towards your section to see if you were there. I couldn't see you because you weren't waving your flag at that point. So it's like, damn, hope he's okay. I kind of wanted to text you just to make sure, but I figured if something was going on, I didn't want to bother you. So I figured, all right, I don't want to add to any stress he's got. So if he ain't here for a reason. And, I'll figure it out later. But I'm assuming you were there for the light show since you said you got in at 8:05.
Yes, I was there for the. If they had a light show before the game, I missed it. The only
Okay.
light show that I saw was at the halftime, or not halftime, but was it like in between the third and fourth quarter or something like
The
that? That's the
DG
one.
light show. Yeah, the Dale
Yeah,
Green one. Okay.
that's what I saw. So I missed something before the kickoff.
You did. So for those of the listeners that weren't there,
Oh.
that missed the light show, that weren't at the game, and those that didn't get to their seats on time, I've got a video of it. I took it when I was going down the seats. I mean,
Cool.
it was awesome, man. The ownership is definitely spending some money. It wasn't Detroit level light show inside Ford Field and that dome and everything else they did because they got the dome and they can do more stuff. But with those
Yeah,
new LED lights, I remember last year when we all thought the power died in the stadium because the lights shut off in the middle of the game. I mean, it was, kind of to that level. And man, the energy inside the stadium after the light show and after the Navy singer sang the national anthem with that massive flag waving, it felt like a bigger stage, man. It felt like Monday
missed
Night
that.
Football, right? I'm not trying to
Missed
rub
all
it
that.
in, but just trying to paint a picture for the listeners that
Yeah.
couldn't be there, which frustrated me even more knowing that, right, the team ownership was pulling out all the stops, right? It's the Navy's 250th anniversary, right? Just all this stuff going on. And then all of a sudden, we're down 13-0 in like the blink of an eye, right? Just like all of that. And then all of that momentum and energy just went right downhill.
Mm. Well, I will say I missed that, but it did go downhill. But because there was a sold out crowd, the fans came back. Even though we were down, we were still loud. And I have to say that the group of Bears fans that came, they were loud too. I know this isn't a Bears podcast, but I believe in being a fair fan and giving credit where credit is due. And the Bears came out for Monday Night Football. I mean, Bears fans came out for Monday Night Football because there was times I heard them chanting defense, and I was like, God dang it, man. Is this what it's going to amount to? But we pulled ourselves out of the hole, and we wet the bed. No pun intended.
I
We
mean,
wet the bed.
we definitely did, man. It just
Yeah.
knowing that Jayden threw that interception, right? We're driving down the field, right? And that's in
Mm-hmm.
your end zone. Did you
Yep.
see I mean, you like sitting there because you can see the plays develop, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you told me before. So did you see that DB just waiting?
Oh, it was a shell. Yeah, he was right there. Jayden didn't see it, obviously, but it was a shell, and that guy just swooped right underneath it and got it. And I was like, oh, man. And then I had a Bears fan that was 2 seats over from me. He goes, yep. Oh, Jayden Daniels, that's one that we got for him. And I was like, shut up.
That's his first pick of the season. What the hell is this guy talking about? Right?
Yeah,
It's
like,
just,
shut up.
I mean, obviously we had 3 turnovers that game. Let's not even talk about the last one yet. But okay, Jayden throws that interception, and I think they only got, I'm trying to remember if they got a field goal off of that. Regardless, they scored 13 points off
Yeah.
of our 3 turnovers. Right.
Yep.
It could have been a lot worse, right? It could have been 21 off of 3 turnovers. So the defense held them to a degree to some field goals instead of them just scoring touchdowns and going down that field. It was just, for me, the offense felt inept, if that makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had a lot of 13 personnel. For those that don't know, 13 personnel means that you're going a jumbo package. You're going 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends. Instead of a 3rd tight end, they brought in Trent Scott, which they've been doing, for a majority of the season. So Trent is the offensive.
73 is eligible.
Yeah, when Trent does this and brushes his jersey with his numbers, it's telling the referee that he is coming in as an eligible receiver. And he actually has scored a touchdown in the past, right? He scored,
Yes.
I think it was Jayden's first touchdown that he ever threw was to Trent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they have gone to him before, but it's to let the referees know that if he does go out in the flat, because we did have a play get called back because of an ineligible man downfield, that's when one of the linemen runs downfield. And I think that was Tunsil at this point. So the play got called back. So in case Trent does go downfield, it's okay. Referee, don't throw a flag. I'm eligible.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just a lot of 13 personnel. And did you notice the wide receiver that was out there for a majority of those?
No, I didn't.
Chris Moore. Right. And this is no knock on Chris, but you mean to tell me you have 3 tight ends. One is an offensive lineman, one is John Bates, one is Zach Ertz. So your list of eligibles are Trent Scott, John Bates, Zach Ertz, Chris Moore, and Bill Merritt, right? So who do you think the ball is going to go to? What do you think they're going to do that play? Odds are they're going to run the ball,
Run
right?
the ball.
Because Chris is not a threat to catch. You can put a 4-string corner on him to cover him. So the Bears, we talked about it, and you didn't agree with me, but I said we got to run the ball. The Bears got the worst rushing defense, one of the worst rushing defenses in the league. So we tried to run the ball. The problem is they didn't respect our passing attack. So they had
Mm-hmm.
8, 9, 10 men in the box. It felt like the entire freaking night.
Yeah. And unfortunately, until you can prove game in and game out that you can take the top off of a game, this is going to be what we have to do or what teams are going to do. So if you know that, then Cliff, come on, man. Come on, man. You know no one takes our passing game serious right now outside of Deebo Samuels. They just don't. So if you know that, you got to draw something up to get it taken care of because we are not a threat in anyone's eyes. And a lot of times we have a tendency to tout our own whistle or blow our own whistle. Well, ain't nobody blowing this whistle. So we've got to do something to change it up so that the run game can open up the pass or even the pass game open up the run game, depending on the flow of the game.
Yeah, I feel that the pass game is going to have to open up the run game at this point because no one's respecting the receivers that are out there, right? Debo, I don't want to say was a game time decision, but he has
Oh, he's hurt.
had, yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a heel problem, right? He's got a foot
Mhm.
problem. He was not 100% by any means. It was obvious something was going on with him. So really, you had Luke McCaffrey out there, who was a touchdown machine, right? You had Jaylen, right? You had Moore out there. Trying to think from a receiver perspective, you had that was it, right? Chris Moore ended up getting a 65 grade. He did have a crucial drop that hurt, right? It was frustrating because the offense never felt explosive other than Jayden using his legs and trying to turn, something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And the fact that we were able to still come back with how bad the offense was definitely promising. Because my little brother kept asking, because we sit in front of each other. It's like, you worried yet? What's going on? Because we were down 13-0. It's like, no, it's okay. We're gonna drive the ball down here. Now it's okay. We're gonna get the ball at half. It's fine, right? We're still close. We're not out of this thing yet. I mean, it was 6, then it was 13-0, then it was 13-7 heading into halftime, but we get the ball afterwards.
Yeah.
And then Bill fumbles that damn ball, man. I mean, what were you thinking at that point?
I was saying, you know what? I'm going to ride with the young man when he's high, and I'm going to ride with him when he's low. And he's a rookie. Not to say that rookies shouldn't or couldn't or can't. You're not supposed to, but it's a part of football. And I'm still riding with him. And obviously they are also because they gave the ball back. They took him out for a couple plays, which rightfully so. If you're a grown man, you gotta have a talking to, get your mind right, whatever have you. I don't know what they did to him. Gave some smelling salts. I don't know, but they took him out for a couple plays, a couple series, but they brought him back in, and he did okay. So he understands as a fan. You show me somebody who's perfect, and we'll go from there. But until then, it's we don't like it, but it's called life. These itineraries, I don't like it, but it's called life. How well do you adapt and overcome? And I'm here to tell you that I feel as though this next game, we're going to see a totally different team. How did you feel?
I started to worry, right? Does Bill have a fumbling problem? Right? Because there are times when I see him running in holes, and what makes him so great is also, I think, a potential weakness is he can just dance and jig and move and just contort his body in so many different angles. And what really pissed me off was Montez Sweat punched Jayden in the face, got a 15-yard penalty, right? On one of those drives, extended it for us. I think it would have been fourth down, but Montez hit Jayden, right? So just another dumb penalty that the Bears were playing undisciplined. But Montez is also the one that knocked that ball out of Bill. It's like, damn, right? So he kind of redeemed himself from that perspective. But I'm thinking, okay, Chris Rodriguez is hurt right now. He's got a calf problem. He dressed, but he's hurt. Bill's
He came out too.
He played one snap.
Yeah.
Right. And Bill played 45 snaps. There was 65 on offense. C-Rod played one, and then Jeremy had the other. Thinking past regimes, when Antonio Gibson fumbled, he sat a decent amount of the game. They're giving Bill a chance to make up for it and do something. I just feel that we didn't make some adjustments, right? Maybe go 4 wide, and maybe we didn't go 4 wide because we don't have 4 healthy wide receivers, right? We've got freaking, Terry's out, Noah Brown's out, and Teaser, he's going to be out for a lot longer. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, right? You got Luke McCaffrey, you got Jalen Lane. So at a certain point, I'm looking at my phone, I'm thinking, who is number 80? Do you know who number 80 is on the team?
No clue.
Colson Yankoff, right? Another tight end. Yeah.
Who?
Colson Yankoff, right? Yankoff was in on certain plays. That's how banged up the offense is from a weapons perspective right now, right? Ja'Cory Brooks was in there for 7 snaps, right? Tay Martin was in for 7 snaps. So Jayden is literally just throwing to wide receivers who would not make another team's roster because, and this is no excuse, right? Everybody plays with injuries, but because Terry's out, because Debo's banged up, because Noah Brown's Mr. Glass. So we've got guys that are out there running plays, and somehow the young man kept us in this game. So even though technically it was his fault on that last turnover, I wasn't upset with him at the end of the game. How about you?
I'm not gonna say I wasn't upset. Hell yeah, I was upset. I'm not gonna even front and say I wasn't upset because we battled back and forth all game long and finally had the lead, and all we basically needed was just a yard or 2 yards just to solidify this game. And I was pissed off. But like anything else, I can be pissed off at you today, but we can go have a drink tomorrow. You know what I mean? There's a time when you deal with it at that moment, but tomorrow's a new day. And that's why I said I'm still riding with JD, regardless of what he did. He threw an interception, had turnover. I'm still riding with Bill. They are our team. And we don't like it, but there are other times on the flip side, we beat Dallas, guess what? We'll love it. We'll forget about it. It'll make it that much easier. When we lost to Atlanta, people were pissed off. I was one of the ones who were pissed off. But when we came back and won the next week, I was happy. So it's the ebb and flow of football. No one likes to lose. We all want to be winners, but that's why they create the game, because somebody is going to lose the game. You just hate the fact that you lost it that way after battling back to be up by 2 points. You know,
I mean, we had 3 turnovers, right? Three
Yeah.
turnovers and a missed field goal, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should not win that game usually if that happens. And DQ talked about it, right? If you're not playing, you know what? Let's hear DQ talk about it instead of me.
You've heard me talk a lot about complementary football, and a team can win a game without it, but it cannot consistently win without all phases rocking together. And we've had some times where we're playing complementary football, and sometimes that's led to us winning, but too often it's led to us beating ourselves. So all 3 phases feed off each other, and it's worked for us and it's worked against us. I absolutely love how we fight back. I love it. There's no fight that we think we're out of, but we have to enter into these games physically, mentally, emotionally, all of it, all the time. Doesn't start in the second or third quarter. It starts, right here in Ashburn, meetings, practice. And so that's what I'm looking for. If we're going to be a team that gets better and does those things, we've got to consistently be about it. So,
I mean, they just didn't play complementary football, right? It hasn't happened all season. And I'll give my 3 reasons why we lost. What are your 3 reasons why we ended up losing that game this past Monday?
Well, I'm not very superstitious, but when you break the chain of me not being able to walk around the lots, tailgate, see everyone, say my toast, that's, I feel, a big part of it. The black cat was over us that night. Obviously, me not being able to do my normal tailgate, that's 1. 2, I'm going to give 2. I'm going to give me not being able to tailgate and obviously the fumble at the end of the game. Those are my 2 reasons why we lost the game. You?
So I'm going to blame the defense, right? My first one goes to the defense, just making DeAndre Swift like a first ballot for the freaking, Hall of Fame. Every time we play him, and it's every freaking year, right? The guy's just a freaking first ballot Hall of Famer. I kind of wanted to look up his stats against us the past couple of years, but then I also don't want to be depressed the rest of the day. So you had to just stop him, right? All you had to do was just not let them get such an easy field goal and come around the corner, right? We were shutting them down in the middle, right? They just kept busting things outside, and we couldn't do a damn thing to stop him, right? He had looking at his stats, Swift had 108 yards on the ground and 67 in the air. It's just like we're sitting here. I'm watching. It was actually nice watching the Bucks game with Mrs. T on Sunday. Since I couldn't make it to the rally, we were watching her Bucks against the Niners. She's like, why can't they stop Christian McCaffrey? They know the ball's going to him. He's the only person they got. Like, sometimes it's easier said than done. Then I'm thinking the exact same thing on Monday. Like, we know it's going DeAndre Swift. Why can't we shut him down? Right? It's like Joe Witt, it's going to go to him. Why can't you do something about it? And it was just so frustrating. And Jayden has won us so many games, putting this entire team on his back. And at the one time when he needs 11 other guys, that defense to step up, they just couldn't do it. So I blame them, number 1, right? Number 2, me wearing a damn black jersey. I never should have did it. I should have just stuck with my old burgundy tailgate Ted jersey. That definitely is part of it. And then number 3, you not stop at the tailgate, man. I'm thinking us not just catching up, taking a picture beforehand. Those are the 3 reasons.
I'll take the weight, man. And that's why I'm wearing the captain's hat. As I said earlier, when we first started, that's why I'm wearing it, to let everybody know that I will ride high and I will go down with the ship. And this week, or last week, if you will, I went down with the ship. So, but they create more ships. And so we've got a new one to sail this week. And I'm ready to take the helm and definitely get this thing, the ship righted, if you will.
So speaking of this week, we talked about the home rally you did, that Santana Moss's people and you all collaborated on. What about the Dallas Road Rally? I know, so the team is actually flying a bunch of suite holders and tunnel club people out for this game this week. So I
Oh,
told them,
nice.
because they're doing like a bougie dinner on Saturday
Hmm.
night. I told them,
Hmm.
rally's doing a rally. Forget that bougie dinner crap. You got to stop by and hang out. So they're asking me when it was going to get announced. Let people know where it's going to be this weekend.
This weekend, Ted, it's going to be held at, I can't think of the name of it. You put me on the spot. Don't put me on the spot like that. You tell me, you tell people where it is.
Barra Libre Sports Bar, 2627 Jefferson Boulevard, Suite 307, Dallas, Texas, 75211. Saturday the 18th from 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. So when I hear Barra Libre Sports Bar, I'm expecting like Rey Mysterio and, people jumping off of top ropes with luchador masks. I mean, what kind of place are you sending our friends to, man?
Well, okay, so I'm glad you brought this up, Ted, so that everybody can understand what I've been working with here. So, as you guys know, there weren't going to be any more rallies, right? Everyone listens to the show, they know that there weren't going to be any more rallies. And every place that I called, because we got the word that, okay, the rallies are back on, they're all booked up. They're all booked up with prior engagements. When I book a rally, it's normally in the beginning of the season, and I can get on the calendar. Now, so this is not our normal spot, but they were the ones who could accommodate the DJ and pretty much all the fans. And the bonus, they weren't charging anything. So I said, all right, we're gonna go with you guys, and here we are. Now, there are two places, and I'm not going to mention their names. They said, sure, we can have you, but you got to pay and you got to have our food and beverage. And so anytime someone tries to force, the two places try to force food and beverage down my throat, I'm saying, no, my people are very simple, and I'm not calling you guys simple. As far as your palate is concerned, you want nachos, you want a hamburger, and you want a good beer and a good mixed drink. And that's all that's for the most part what we want. They want to charge a buffet style meal. And
What?
yeah, and so I'm saying, no, that's not what everybody's going to be on their different
Their own
tabs.
tab. Yeah, you're not
Yeah, they're,
starting a tab for the entire place and having people pay you back. I mean, talk about
eh,
complicated.
oh, bro. So, hey, so you got your high list. You go, nope, 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 nope. Yes. So here we are, Bar Libre, and we're gonna make it happen. I don't care what anybody says. We've when we had rallies before under the previous name, some of the places were smaller than my living room, and we packed the place out. We're gonna do the exact same thing here. And I told the manager to make sure you got plenty of cold ones on ice and get the mixed drinks flowing, because the burgundy and gold is going to infiltrate Bar Libre.
If you guys have Instagram, you got to check out the Barra Libre Sports Bar Instagram. It is not in English, but they definitely have some.
Well, that's Texas for you, baby.
They definitely have some pictures on here that would make some of our listeners excited about hanging out there with some chicken $10 all day chicken quesadillas and taco towers. And yeah, so you guys are going to have a good time. I'm excited to hear how it goes. Right. I mean, we've got a huge contingent of the fan base that's going to be out there for the game. So I'm
Yes.
excited. And
Yes, I'm always excited about a rally, Ted. I've as you know, I mean, this is my name, and ever since the team stopped doing it back in the COVID years and they picked it back up, I I've always wanted to do this, and so somebody said this is actually my calling. So here it is. I hate that we were late, if you will, to have to pick the spot that we're at, but it doesn't matter. The burgundy and gold. Wait a minute. The burgundy and gold
dude,
will
this is Bar Libre.
take over.
Did you? This is Bar Libre, man. I'll tell you. You guys are gonna have a good time on Sunday, man, or Saturday.
I don't think they're gonna be that way, bro. At least I'm hoping they're not.
I
That
mean,
must have been on one particular night. All right. Yeah.
This is July 26th is. Maybe it's a Texas holiday or something.
Hey,
man.
I don't know. I didn't see that until now. I'm like, what are you looking at over there?
You guys check out their Instagram, man. You can get a laugh. I'm not gonna it's sufficient for work. You can look at it on a work phone, but I'm not gonna put that on our YouTube.
Oh God. I'm saying to myself, what the heck is he looking at over there? Anyway, hey, we're gonna have a good time at Bar Libre, and hey man, it doesn't matter what's the saying? Anytime, any place, anywhere, the Burgundy and Gold is going to show up, and Bar Libre is in for a treat for the Burgundy and Gold.
No, they definitely are, man. They don't know what they signed up for, and I've got no doubt that it's going to be a blast. Just take some pictures for me and let me put some stuff on the Instagram later. But what do you think? A short week going into Dallas, heartbreaking loss, the last second of the freaking game, right? Von Miller was on with the Sports Junkies the next morning at 9:40. He didn't even go to sleep. He watched the film that night, stayed up the entire time, and was joining them, I think, at like 9:20 in the morning. What do you think the team's psyche is heading into this game versus Dallas right now after that loss?
Well, their head should be down for the first couple hours of Tuesday, going into Tuesday. But after that, it's on to beat the blue and silver or whatever their colors are. So they're grown men who get paid for a child's sport. I want them to hold their head up high and just understand that we've got your back, but we're giving you the side eye. We got your back, but we're giving you the side eye. Just know that. And you should understand that. That shouldn't hurt anybody's feelings whatsoever. We are 10 toes down for you, but we're looking at you because we know that you guys can play better. And we know that you will play better. You can't talk about it. You got to go out there and do it. And right now, Dallas is in the same boat, if you will, that we are. They've got a lot of injuries. Obviously, their number one pass rusher got shipped off to Green Bay. So who do they look for? Who do they look for? What is their identity? I don't care what their identity is. It's our way to go in there and take what's ours at AT&T Stadium.
So for me, right, the next day, Tuesday, I've been trying to get the new iPhone for a month now. And I think Apple does this on purpose, right? You can go to their website, put the phone, everything else you want, and it tells you if it's available anywhere. And it's been sold out everywhere. I just kept hitting refresh every 5 minutes. All of a sudden, one would pop up, right? So, and then it would disappear. So it popped up again Tuesday, fast forward. I get one Tuesday at Pentagon City. So I go there to go pick it up.
Okay.
Obviously, because I want the new phone for when we go to Spain, right? I want to have the new camera and all the other stuff and some more space on the phone when we go to Spain. I'm rocking my Commanders gear. Yes, we just lost less than 12 hours ago, but I am rocking my Commanders gear, walking through that mall with my head held high, representing, right? And I have people saying, how can you wear that right now? It's like, how can you not? If you're a fan of this team, yes, it sucks. We took an L. We lost that game. The Bears didn't win that game. We lost that game. There was a difference, right? The Bears should not have happened. But yes, it's the next day. I'm still going to wear this. So people are saying, well, is the team going to be able to bounce back on a short week? This is actually DQ talking about how happy he is that it is a short week.
Dan, at the opening, you said you're happy it's a short week. Can you explain that mentality and that attitude a little bit, that mindset?
Well, I think when it doesn't go your way, and this game was a hard one for us, in a lot of ways we beat ourselves. And those are as hard a loss, to deal with. When it goes down to the end, you hit your marks, they do, and it doesn't go your way. Those are ones that's the life of a competitor. When you beat yourselves, that one hurts more because you didn't finish it or didn't play it in a style or attitude or things that you wanted to do. So those are important, and we want to make sure the lessons that are meant for us are learned and also get it corrected. That's been uncharacteristic of us in that way, and we certainly plan on getting that fixed.
DQ said it was either on Tuesday or Monday after the game that if they could play tomorrow, they would, right? Yes, it's a short week, but it almost behooves you that it's a short week because after a loss like that, it's not like it was a blowout loss, right? After a loss like that, you want to put the pads back on, freaking tie the cleats back up, and then hit that field again, right? Obviously, guys are banged up, right? We'll talk about that here in a second, but I almost think it's a good thing. On top of the fact that for some reason, we win a game, we lose a game. We win a game, we lose a game. So if we keep going on this trend, we should win in Dallas because we just lost this past weekend. I don't know why we can't win 2 in a row. And I'm happy we haven't lost 2 in a row, but I don't know why we can't win 2 in a row. Hopefully, the next 2 are on the road. We get to see some back-to-backs here. But for me, I have never actually been excited at the fact because it doesn't give them a lot of time because Tuesday is typically the team's off day. The guys haven't had time to just sit there and wallow in pity because of how we gave that thing away, right? They got to prepare. They got to make sure we're ready for Dallas.
Hell no, ain't no pity party.
So the only thing that's frustrating with it being a short week is obviously we're banged up, and a certain wide receiver that we had hoped was going to come back for the Bears game is now out for 4 more weeks. This is DQ.
Last week, we worked Noah Brown back into practice, and unfortunately, his groin didn't respond. And given that, we'll place him on IR. And the aim is to get Noah fully right. He's such a tough competitor, and but it's the right call right now to get him into that spot. And let's get him all the way back and ready.
With Noah, I mean, what happened with the groin? Was there a setback, or did something happen while he was practicing that re-injured it? And I guess why not put him on IR before this point? Yeah, well, I would say it wasn't a setback. It just hasn't responded, quite the way that it needs to. So I wouldn't call it a setback. Hindsight's 20/20. And I think the main thing is, man, we're going to get him right. And that's the ultimate goal to get there. So we know that means 4 more weeks, and the guy's working incredibly hard at it. And so we want to make sure hit all the marks that we can with him.
So I think that means we might see some more Colson Yankoff out there, right? Some more other guys. It's a bummer, and you feel bad for Noah, right? It's just been one thing after another. Missed a majority of camp and preseason, got to play a game. But B. Mitch was talking about today. It's like, are you really losing something? Because you never really had him.
Yeah. Chemistry you never had.
So we know what he did last season, but this is a new season, and they were never going to pay De'Ami Brown what he got in Jacksonville, right? And I'm happy for OZ. He seems to be someplace where he's good, and you talk about you talk about body language. Seeing him after the game, walking around, talking to former just trainers and staff, right? We are Commanders fans, but you feel for these guys that used to be part of this team. And OZ had 2 catches for 24 yards. I mean, he did some stuff through that game. And I just hope for Noah's sake he's going to be okay. I just don't know what to expect out of him. And I reach out to my crew 10 days before tailgate, right? Because our RSVP goes live 10 days ahead of time. And this way I can, on the back end, say, okay, how many people can we actually feed this week, knowing that I only have X amount of people doing the tailgate, right? And if someone tells me they're a maybe, I have to count them out as no until they prove to me that they can be there. For me, Noah is a no until he has actually got pads on and out there on game day, right? Because Coach said that he'd been around for walkthroughs and light stuff, but once it finally came to having to run and practice, just couldn't do it. So what good is he out there if the guy can't even run? And that's what worries me about Terry right now, because looking at the injury report this week, man, I need to pull my shoes off if I'm using all my digits to count this thing.
I thought that was your menu.
Right now, Dorrance Armstrong, hamstring, DNP. John Bates, DNP rest. Zach Ertz, rest DNP with a shoulder. Drake Jackson, knee DNP. Kinlaw, rest DNP. Von Miller, rest DNP. Duran, rest DNP. Chris Rodriguez, calf DNP. Debo, heel DNP. Tunsil, rest DNP. Bobby Wagner, rest DNP. Terry, quad limited. Cosme, knee full. Jayden, knee full. Jonathan Jones, hamstring full. So even though I know the guys would strap it on and just get out there to play Dallas now to try and get that bad taste of that loss out of their mouth, fact of the matter is the guys are all banged up. And Dallas has had an extra day to prepare, unlike the Bears who had an extra week because they had a bye week coming against us, but they had an extra day to prepare.
They had an extra week, and they still didn't show me anything. So I'm not worried about that. And unfortunately, or fortunately, we will be putting the team on JD5's back again to make the right calls, and the kid almost has to be perfect. When the other players around him make mistakes, and including himself, he needs to almost play a perfect game. So, and as you said, Chicago didn't beat us. We beat ourselves. So we can't have another game like that. Not to say that it won't happen, but we can't have another game like that, because that is going to demoralize the fan base, and not only the fan base, the team. It just is. I don't care what anybody says. You're a human being. Yes, you're a NFL football player, but you are a human being first, and you have feelings. You just do. So it's going to hurt you as well.
Well, I mean, I texted you about stuff to talk about for the show, right? And we talked on the last pod that if we win that game, we could go to first in the NFC East, right? We would be tied with the Eagles, right? At 4-2 versus 3-3. Losing that game changed our playoff percentage to 36%. And it is way too early to talk about that. But the only thing that bothers me about losing that game in the way we did, and we can all go back and look at seasons where we just gave games away. If we win this one game, we're in the playoffs. Right? If we win this one game, we get this. This game feels like that because of who we play in the next 4 weeks, right? We got the Cowboys in Dallas. We got the Chiefs in Kansas City. We got the Seahawks back home. And then we got the Lions back home, right? So coming out of this next 4-game stretch, this is where we either prove that we're a playoff team or prove that we still got some more work to do, right?
Yeah.
And not to say that if we go 3-7 the next 4 weeks that the season's over. It's not by any means, right? But just being realistic, if we chunk this thing up, that's why that game was so important. And that's what makes this weekend so important as well, heading out to Dallas, because going to 3-4 versus 4-3 is a completely different story with just the juggernauts that we got to face coming up. Because Seattle is not the same Seattle I thought they were going to be before the season started. That team is freaking on fire.
They are.
The Lions
really
are who we thought they were, right? And the Chiefs appeared to have woken up. I don't know what happened, but Mahomes found his mojo again, and something's going on with that team. So that one's going to be a tough one out there in Arrowhead. So this week heading into Dallas, good news is the Cowboys just lost to, what was it, the Jets this past week?
No, they lost.
No, the
to
Panthers. That's who it was, the Panthers.
Rico Dowdle.
Panthers beat them 27-3. And that was also, so did you get
I thought
to
it was
hide?
closer than that. I thought it was closer than
27-30,
that.
sorry. 27-30.
Yeah.
Did you get to hide so you could watch the game earlier or no?
I got there roughly a little earlier so that I could watch the game and get set up with the little things that I needed to take care of. So, and it was really good while the rally was going on, and to see them lose, that just made everybody want to drink even more and be merry.
Oh, I'm sure. Because I got back to the house from tailgate prep right when the game was finishing. I'm like, because Mrs. T had it on. I'm like, oh, damn. Okay. This is good. This works out. But the Cowboys are 2-3-1. They actually tied the Packers. They beat the, let's see here. Who did they beat? They beat the Giants in week 2, 40-37, and they beat the Jets 37-22. They lost to the Eagles, the Bears, and the Panthers. Right. And the teams that they beat, okay, That's fine, right? The Giants beat the Eagles, and it's a division game, so those can kind of go either way. The Jets, we all know they're garbage, right? They're probably going to get the first pick in the draft. They're horrible this year. I just don't know what to expect because this Dallas team, they are putting up points, man.
Yeah.
They are putting up a ton of points. I think they are 30th. No, they are third in the league in scoring offense, putting up 29.7 points a game. And that is what worries me this week heading down to Dallas because Dak has found his stride. I think it was Smoot called him Skinny Dak. Skinny Dak's able to make some throws and move a little bit better than he used to. And he is the most accurate passer, according to PFF right now. And said here, Prescott continues to perform at a high level despite the Cowboys' record. He ranks as PFF's third highest graded passer after recording his fourth game with an overall grade of 80 or higher. His accuracy was a major factor. His accuracy was 74.2%. Right.
Wow.
So he's not missing a ton of throws at all. And bad news for us, it looks like CeeDee Lamb is coming back. CeeDee's been out since week 3 with a high ankle. And Lamb was at practice, was a participant, and looks like we are going to have to worry about him this weekend.
Well, the one person that I haven't heard us talk about on our squad is Terry. What's the latest on Terry?
So this is actually DQ talking about the game plan for Terry this week.
Then what's the plan for Terry this week?
He'll practice this week, and I'll have a better sense where we're going because today is going to be more at a jog-through pace where we're not, fully, speed up and going, but that'll be more as we get into tomorrow. But, I'll have a better assessment after we go through like some full speed, routes and movements to see where he's at. But I'm excited where he's trending.
So fingers crossed we get 17 back, right? We need Terry out there, just being legit, right? If we go 13 personnel, Debo is never a stretch the field guy, right? He's a crossing pattern guy. He's a short pattern guy, right? We need someone that the defense has to respect so they can't stack the box against Bill. They can't do what the freaking Bears just did against us. And maybe it's Jalen Lane out there instead of Chris Moore, but they got to do something because we just can't have what happened this past week. Right?
No,
and
we can't.
It's a copycat league, and I get they don't have Micah Parsons right now, but the Bears, horrible run defense, and they stopped us, right? The Cowboys' rush defense, they are 29th, giving up 142 yards a game. None of that matters if they don't respect our passing attack. And our passing attack without Terry, right, is what? Is Zach Ertz and one catch from Luke McCaffrey and a catch from Jalen Lane? That's pretty much our passing attack right now. So best believe Dallas is going to be able to shut that down if we don't get a chance to do something about it. And unfortunately, we need bodies to make that happen, right? I don't care what kind of plays Kingsbury is going to call. If you don't got the horses to run it, it ain't going to work out.
Yeah. So the same way that we're looking at this being a possible get-right game for us, best believe Dallas is looking at this as a get-right game for them. Plus, it's at their home stadium with their home crowd. So they aren't going to be pushovers. They're going to come out on all cylinders, firing whatever they have. And I'm hoping that we can match that intensity because it's going to be needed. A lot of times AT&T Stadium is loud, but you can survive it. I think that this go around, it's probably going to be a lot louder because of who they're playing this week, the Commanders, and we have got to shut them down. Before we move on, Ted, give me your thoughts on. I have my reasons why I think that teams defer. Why do you think that we defer all the time and get the ball in the second quarter?
I mean, if you get a chance to double up, to me, it makes the most sense. If you score at the end of the second quarter or don't give a team enough time to score after you score, then you get a chance to get, either 14 points against them or 10 or another 3 at that. It's just mathematically, analytically, it's the right thing to do. But you also have a team that has been starting slow, right? And that's where it might hurt you. But I know
Mm-hmm.
DQ's logic, at least I think I do, as to why he's doing that. What are your thoughts?
Okay. Well, I always thought that, yes, there is some analytical point that they're making, but I always thought that you get the ball back in the second half because you want the ball back because the stadium isn't as crowded, it's not as loud. So everyone's out going to the bathroom or getting food or whatever have you. And it's just when you look at players or teams coming back out of the second half, the stadium's almost, I'm not gonna say half empty, but it's pretty empty because people have ran out for the various reasons. So that's why I always thought that because you can move the ball quicker in enemy territory possibly, and not have to hear as much. You can concentrate better. I mean, that's what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, that's also part of it, right? It's part of the equation. According to ChatGPT, it says between 2018 and 2024, teams that defer after winning the coin toss win roughly 51 to 53% of the games. Right. In the 2023 season, teams that deferred won 52.8% of the games. In the 24 season, coaches now defer over 90% of the time when they win the toss because of the small extra value that you get from it. And it's the double possession chance, right? I used to have Wizard season tickets, right? So you would, at the end of a game or the end of a half, you try and get a 2-for-1, right? It's the same thing in football speed. Try and get the 2-for-1 with the shot clock and everything else. So, but what worries me, right, is we're going down early in games, 10-0 in San Diego, right? Where there was no home field advantage, right? 13-0 at home, where we did have an advantage. But if we go down double digits in AT&T, that stadium is going to go nuts.
Yeah.
And it is going to be tough to bounce back from that. And we can't afford to do that this week. We cannot afford to start off slow on the road. And it's something that concerns me. On top of that, we are the highest over-under this week at 54.5 points. Vegas is expecting a freaking shootout. And I hope it's an even shootout, not Dallas putting up 30 and us putting up 20, getting them there. Because I hate to say it, but man, our defense has not shown me that they can stop a healthy team, right? We beat up on the Chargers because the Chargers were all banged up, right? But we haven't been able to beat up on a team that is healthy. We got our butts kicked by the Packers, who were healthy. We just lost to the Bears, who, all for the most part, were a healthy team, right? Dallas is getting people back, right? They just got a couple of their offensive linemen back last week against that game versus the Panthers, right? Their offensive line did not give up a single sack last week, and they only surrendered 5 pressures on 34 passes. So their offensive line is starting to kick ass right now. Their pass block efficiency was 92.6. And on top of Dak being super accurate, like, I have concerns about this defense being able to slow them down. If it comes to a shootout, I got faith in Jayden, but it's just, we talk about him having to put that cape on again, and that's what concerns me.
Yeah, and like I said, it's unfortunate or fortunate, however you want to look at it. But the game needs to be played, and I'm hoping. Well, I'm not hoping. I know that they'll have our guys ready to play. What the outcome will be, that I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of the old vets that are around, a lot of the alumni, right? Doug Williams is obviously there. B. Mitch, Santana, right? I don't feel that Logan Paulson knows or understands how big Dallas week is, but we got a young team. We talked about the youth movement. Do these guys know how important this game is? I don't know. Yes, it's a division game, but do they know how important this game is? Not to the team, but to the city, right? This game means something. This game carries extra weight. There's a reason why this game is on at 425, right? They have to put their best foot forward. Dallas is 22nd in the power rankings, right? They're 2-3-1. We should kick their ass. We just know that it's never that easy when it comes to a division game or just Dallas in general.
Don't read your press clippings. Don't do it. And that's something else that I said. Maybe they read the press clippings. I don't know. Whereas everybody said you should be able to run the ball in Chicago. Oh, everybody's coming. They leak like a sieve. You can run. I said, don't read those press clippings, because what another team did, our team may not be able to do, even though other teams have had success. And so it just sometimes it's flip flop for us. Where other teams can do it, we can't for whatever reason. I don't know, but this definitely will be a test. And if I'm not mistaken, big shout out goes to Luke McCaffrey, because I think he's the leading return yard guy right now, if I'm not mistaken, right?
He was the second during the game.
Yeah.
So he might have actually moved up to first.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I think because I don't know what he's seeing, but he's getting better with each game. And so I'm happy with that, because he's not a really fast guy, but he's picking his holes and picking his parts. So my hat goes off to him. If I had a player of the week, it would be Luke McCaffrey.
Yeah, Luke is leading it right now, averaging 31.5.
Yeah.
And Arian Smith and Amarian Hampton are averaging 30 and 31 and 30. So yeah, Luke is. I mean, I was glad to see Luke get more snaps this past week. And I think part of that comes down to the fact that we're short bodies, right?
Yeah.
Luke had 25 snaps on offense this past week. And the week prior to that, when we were still banged up, he had 23. So, I mean, he's getting more involved in the offense. And it's nice to see, because we're going to need him this week, right? If this is going to be a shootout, then we need all of our explosive weapons out there. And this is no knock on Ben Sennett and Colson Yankoff and Tay Martin, but they're not it. They're not explosive. They're not game-changing. And we need people out there that can actually scare defenses to a degree. And I'm not saying Luke is an intimidating force, but if he just runs that ball back on a kickoff and gets 35 yards, hits that hole hard as hell, best believe the DBs that are about to go back out there when we're on offense and they're on defense are thinking about what Luke just did. I mean, same thing with Jalen Lane, right? Jalen's back there catching those punts, and the kid is doing really well in that aspect, and it's exciting to see him do some stuff on offense. Believe it or not, Luke and Jalen were actually ranked higher than Jayden on the PFF grades. Granted, Jayden had 2 turnovers, so that's why.
Yeah, that drops you down.
Yeah, and Trent Scott was actually higher than Jayden, right? And he only played 14 snaps, so that's kind of hard to take into account. But it was nice to see Zach Ertz show back up after having 0 catches the week prior, and he actually turned it on this past week, and we're going to need him this week. I mean, Ertz had 6 catches for a touchdown this past week for 43 yards. So it just, for you, what are the keys to us winning on Sunday out in AT&T?
Well, obviously, mistake-free football, or as closest to mistake-free football that you can play. Like you said, that young man's got to put a cape on his back. No turnovers. The turnover game has been killing us, and they want to get this taste out of their mouth that happened 3 minutes left in the game, 2 minutes left in the game. No turnovers. Complementary football, because Dak can carve you up, and the defense has got to be on the same page. What about you?
For me, right, the no turnovers thing, obviously, but we can't settle for field goals, right? We can't settle for 3 instead of 7, right? No offense to Gay, our kicker, but every time he goes out there, my butthole puckers a little bit, man.
Sphincter gets tight, huh?
It doesn't matter if it's a 35-yarder or a 50-plus, right? I get worried. And where my seats are, I'm on the sideline. So I didn't know he was missing that kick until it doinked off the freaking upright. So I have no idea what's happening. I worry. We have not had a kicker that we just don't have to worry about, and I don't even know how long. So how about we just don't let him kick it? We just score touchdowns instead, right? Tress had 1 punt, right? And that's great. Well, obviously, because we had a fumble and an INT, but Tress had 1 punt. How about we have 0 field goals and all extra points, right? That to me is going to be key, because Vegas is expecting this to be a high-scoring game, right? 54.5 points. right? And if we are going to keep up with Dallas's offense at 29 points a game, we're only putting up 26. We have got to score touchdowns.
Have
right?
to.
We cannot miss tackles. We have to gang tackle like a mug, right? We got to make sure that if one guy gets there, he holds him up until the cavalry comes, slows him down, because that missed tackle along the freaking sideline that they took for a freaking house call is just, that cannot happen against Dallas. And Dallas has speed, man. Their receivers are quick, and so are the Bears. So it's,
and you're playing on turf, so yeah, you're gonna be a little just a smudge faster.
something feels off with San Ristel. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's because he's playing a different position than he played last year. Right? He's, instead of being outside, he's inside, whatever. I don't know, but something just feels off where he seems like he's getting there a little later than he should. And in the meantime, we need to make sure that other guys step up or they play their assignments, they play their spots, because it just feels like we're missing tackles because people aren't where they're supposed to be. And Bobby Wagner should never be in coverage, right? I don't know how many times I saw that happening where guys are going in motion and you can see that Bobby's on them. And believe it or not, Bobby was the second lowest graded person in PFF. I have never seen his name this far down the freaking list. He was 17th out of 19 on the list of players, right? Defense, Bobby's grade was a 48.2, right? His coverage grade was a 42, right? If Wagner is out there covering somebody, we got a problem, right? They got to make sure that pre-snap, they understand that mismatch and they pass it off to a safety or somebody else, because it is going to be a rough, long day if that happens.
Well, as they say, Father Time is undefeated. So I'm hoping that, as you said, that they can mask it to the best ability to pass it off on someone, and he can plug up the holes like he always plugs them up.
I mean, rush defense, dude's a monster, right?
Yeah.
It's,
he knows where the ball's going, definitely.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
speed,
he watches film.
Yeah, speed is something that, as they say, is uncoachable. So, but hey, man, it's the Commanders' game to lose. I feel we can be victorious in Big D.
So for you, who has a step up on offense and who has a step up on defense to be
Well, as
victorious?
I said, you got to put the K back on JD, because ultimately he is the one who touches the ball every time. And I need my secondary to be strong against, as they call him, DeQuavius. I need him to my cornerbacks and DBs to shut that down as much as they possibly can, because CD, he's itching to get back and prove his point, because he doesn't want, I think it was Peterman. He didn't want Peterman to take his spot. So he's ready.
Yeah. For me on offense, I hate to say it, I agree with you. I think it's Jayden. Just to change it up, I'm going to say Bill, because to me, he's got to prove something. He's got to prove he doesn't have a fumbling problem. He's got to prove he can handle the pressure. You're 7th round pick, kid. You fumble this ball again, I don't think you're going to get another shot, right? They cannot afford to keep giving you the ball so you can make mistakes. This is actually DQ talking about the fumbling problem.
With Bill Krosky-Merritt fumbles in back-to-back weeks, obviously there's teachable moments, learning moments in those situations, but what's the point of when maybe it becomes an issue and not necessarily any more of a teaching, learning moment?
Yeah, it's a great question. We've got to give them the space to grow for sure, and prove that those lessons are learned. Sometimes you don't really get to show that you've learned them until you're back into that spot. And so we want to make sure that, man, he's still growing, and this is a rookie player they're going to have some ups and some downs just like any other guys. And I'm certain he's made of the right things to come battle through it. I can remember, a few weeks back we were talking about Connerly and early start on some guys. And he said, man, we're going to fight through it and get there. And so this is no different to me. This is learning, growing, and he'll bank on these experiences. And they're hard to go through, but it is necessary. It sucks when you go through them, but when you come out the other side, there's a lot of value that comes with that.
Someone was joking, saying that Tiki Barber needs to give Bill some lessons on how to hold on to that ball, right? And
Hold on to the ball.
I was looking up and trying to do some research. Said he only had 4 fumbles in college, right? And I don't know if that's correct. This is all Chat GPT and some other research stuff I was trying to see, but he only had 4 in college according to all that stuff. So it's not like he has a problem or has had a problem in the past, right? And, Montez Sweat is a beast of a man. So him punching that thing out, okay, I get it. But you can't let it happen, right? And you go back and watch a game, he's running into that hole with one hand on that ball, right? If he's got to change it up and put 2, do what you got to do. But for me on defense, I need Deron Payne to step up and get some interior pressure because we see the guys on the ends coming around and getting there, but next thing, whoever's throwing the ball, all they have to do is just step up in the middle of that pocket. There is no pressure in the middle of that pocket. We cannot give Dak a clean pocket like that to do. And he's just going to pick us apart. We talked about earlier, he is the most accurate passer right now, according to PFF. 74% of his passes. The guy is hitting his freaking targets. If you jam up the middle of that pocket and mess up some of those passing lanes, he ain't going to be as accurate. And it's going to give our guys a chance to do something. So if one of those 2 guys steps up, then I think we're going to get a chance to, you get 3 victory stakes I think you're owed now. Or 1 massive one instead of, what happened.
It will be a tomahawk. It will be. Make no bones about it. I'm going to get it. And when we went in Dallas, well, actually it was 4:00. Ruth Chris probably closed by then, so I don't think I'll be able to do it. But definitely, I'm going to get it. If it means that I got to get it in Kansas City, the state capital, the beef capital, or rather, I'll do that. But before we close it out, Ted. Young Bill has, for our older listeners who watched Worldwide of Sports back in the day, they used to have this line, Bill has witnessed the thrill of victory as well as the agony of defeat. So he's seen it in his young career. So we hope that he gets the thrill of victory again.
Yeah, I'm hoping he bounces back, man, because he's got so much promise, right? I went to the Super Bowl jersey release on Saturday before I was doing some tailgate stuff. And guess what 4 jerseys they had at the release?
Which ones?
Jayden, Luvu, Terry, and Bill.
Wow.
That's it, right?
He's hot, though. I mean, he's hot right now. So, yeah. I can see it.
And there are obviously more people grabbing the Jayden jerseys, right? That was there. But I was there for maybe 45 minutes to an hour. I want to say I saw more 22 jerseys, Bill, going than Terry jerseys, right? Which maybe because Terry's not playing right now and they knew Bill is, or what. I know there are some fans that are still upset at Terry for everything going on, right? Some guy tweeted me today saying trade Terry, but I just, mute and ignore, whatever. But I hope for the kid's sake he bounces back because this fan base is ready to get behind him. We want to get behind him, right? And it's just everyone loves an underdog success story, and the kid's got what it takes. Right? There's a reason why we traded away B-Rob and kept him here. So I'm hoping it happens. I hate to say it, man. I think it's too much this week. I think Dallas is gonna, unfortunately, beat us out there. I hope to God I'm wrong, because it pains me to say that out loud. I just don't know if our defense can slow them down. And until they prove to me that they can, I think Dallas's offense is just too much.
Well, the last time I went against the boys was against the Chargers, and we wound up winning. So I can't do it again. I'm riding with the burgundy and gold.
I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong. And maybe we get that massive victory stake together out in Kansas City. And, we can share a napkin around our necks and just hang out there and do that. And Mrs. Rowley can take a picture. But
get some good BBQ. That's right.
Enjoy yourself out there, man. Have fun at, what was the name of the bar again for those going out there?
Bar Libre.
Have fun at Bar Libre. From what I can tell, you guys are all going to have a blast at Bar Libre. And definitely take some pictures for your boy.
Yes, indeed. I hear the music playing in the background, which lets me know we are bringing another episode to a close. Thank you guys for riding with us. We greatly appreciate it. If you haven't done so, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. It keeps the lights on. So thank you guys once again. Remember, you rep it hard. You don't rep it at all. We're out of Captain Tailgate Ted, and we're out.